we know, I'm sure that confidence brings health, wealth, abundance, all the girls, all the cars, right? A lot of times somebody that isn't even that attractive, if they have a lot of confidence, they're attractive. Or vice versa, somebody who is really attractive but doesn't have the confidence suddenly isn't that attractive, because you're like, it's a little like cringy, right? Because they're so insecure. So we know that confidence helps, but how do we act confidently when your confidence might be shattered? Today I'm going to give you strategies how to be real, authentic, and be confident on camera, on stage, and in life. Because often if you have been a target, a victim of narcissist or worse, your confidence is shot, right? So what do you do then? What do you do when you just went through a big bad breakup? Even if it wasn't a narcissist and you're just feeling deflated, what do you do when you lost your job? Today we're going to get to the bottom of how you can feel better, because you deserve to feel better, okay? As you know, a lot of people aren't so concerned about being authentic. Some people are like, I don't care about authentic, because you know what wins? Disingenuous, liars, narcersons. Teach me how to do that. It's terrible. So people often aren't losing sleep going, how can I be more authentic? They're wondering, how do I be confident? How can I be confident to get the girl, to get the guy, to get the job, to get the thing, to have the house, to live a good life? How do I do that? They're not worrying like, how do I be more authentic so that people can make fun of me and fail at everything? No. So we're talking about confidence, and in turn, you'll end up being authentic because it's just a byproduct. How are you confident to ask out a chick when you're broke? You're like, so, you want to go to Taco Bell and eat off the dollar menu? They're like, no, bye. I want to go with narcerson who's going to love bomb me. So you might wonder, how in the world do I do it? Watch this video. On this channel, we talk a lot about narcersons, narcissistic abuse, the world at large, and also many of you know, and those of you that are brand new to my channel, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome. You're welcome too. I'm an acting coach / personal development empowerment coach, because often when I've been working with actors for the past 20 and 10 years as a coach, I realize I can teach acting skills, but a lot of times it's stuff that's underlying that really gets in the way of one's success. First of all, if you're not feeling confident, please do not gaslight yourself and say, I should be really confident. No, you shouldn't, because you don't feel that way. So first, acknowledge how you really feel. I feel kind of not so great. And then ask yourself, what is the part of myself that really needs to be seen in order to feel better? I know for me, a lot of times when I feel like I'm failing at something, I go, well, I don't feel confident because I don't feel like I'm succeeding in this area. And make friends with the part of you that isn't succeeding. You know, there are often stage moms and stage dads, and you know, it's like the guy who's yelling at his kid at the soccer game, like, damn it, kid, get the goal. What's wrong with you? Get your head in the game. And you're like, oh my gosh, and he's being so mean to the kid. Maybe that will encourage some kids. Maybe that tough love sometimes is what we need. And maybe sometimes it isn't. Maybe sometimes we need a little encouragement going, hey, if you're really authentically trying your best, you're trying your best. And I love you even if you don't win. It's okay. I'm not going to knock you down even farther when you're down. So to love that part of yourself that is in such fear of failing, or maybe feels like a failure. So I know for me, when I've felt that way, and it's not to be all sorry for yourself and woe is me, but it's just to go, maybe I'll be okay even if I don't succeed at that. Could I love myself even if I don't succeed at that? Is all of my worth tied up in that? And you might go, yeah, it actually is. And that's where you can really check in and go, okay, that's not who I am. And if you believe in a higher power, go, would the higher power still love me if I didn't succeed in that? And make friends with that part of yourself. I know for a long time I carried a picture of my 2-year-old self in my wallet. And anytime I felt, really sad, look at it. Nowadays you have a phone, see, I was raised in the 1900s. So I didn't even have a phone back then. But now you can just have it in your phone. Put it on your wallpaper on your phone or in your computer. And remember that little kid that just wants to be seen, that doesn't want to be yelled at if they don't win the game. Number 2, trust your instincts. Sometimes we're trying so hard to succeed at something that you're not supposed to succeed at. Sometimes it's a window to opening something bigger. So maybe you feel like a failure at a relationship, but maybe you weren't supposed to succeed in that way at that relationship. Maybe leaving that relationship is success. Maybe being on your own is actually success. If we celebrated people being on their own more, then maybe there wouldn't be so much shame around not being with somebody, and people wouldn't couple up with awful, abusive people. But because there's so much shame around it, often people are like, oh, I'd rather be with anybody than be alone. I'd rather have my teeth kicked in than be alone. But see, you can be really successful on your own. That doesn't mean that there isn't greatness inside of a relationship. But greatness can happen when 2 whole people are coming together. Yes, you can contribute different things to the relationship, right? It doesn't mean that you don't value what somebody else brings to the table. But don't disvalue yourself by accepting anything. That's going to make your confidence null. So same thing if you're going on stage. You can't go on stage thinking, I need the validation from the audience to love me. Think about what you're bringing to the table. I'm giving them this gift of entertainment. Of course, I hope they receive it and like it. But if they don't, that doesn't take away who I am. I'm not a failure. So bring your best to a relationship. Bring your best to the date, of course, instead of like, I don't need anybody. It's not that. Go, yeah, sure, I love to be with people. I would love to have a loving, healthy relationship. So bring your best to the table, but you're not expecting validation from that date. You're not expecting validation from the audience. Validate yourself and go, I want to have fun. I want to have fun on camera. I want to have fun on stage. I want to have fun on this date. That's my intention. And yes, I hope the other person has fun too, but my self-worth doesn't come from whether they join me in the fun or not. Number 3, remember what you're doing. So I teach the Meisner technique, and one of Mr. Meisner's famous quotes is that acting is the reality of doing. So if you're stepping on stage, if you're stepping on camera, if you have to give a toast and you're really nervous, or in life on a date, right? It's not even on stage, on camera, but you're very nervous. Remember what you're doing. What am I doing? What am I actually doing? If you're giving a presentation, remember, what am I doing? I'm presenting this theory. I'm presenting this idea. I'm giving this gift to somebody. So if you're an actor, the more things you can really do on stage, the better, right? There's a joke with Meisner. It's like, you ask an actor how to brush their hair. You're like, what are you doing? Like, I'm brushing my hair. I'm acting like I'm brushing my hair. It's like, just do it. Just actually do it, and you won't have to act it. So the more things that you can actually do is what brings the presence. which brings me to number 4. Be present. Be actually present with what you're doing. So if you're on a date and you're eating your food, actually be present with eating and tasting your food. Be present with actually listening to the person that you're with. Instead of trying to perform, be with them. If you actually are performing, then remember, go back to the previous steps. I'm giving something. I'm giving this gift of entertainment. Or if you're in an actual scene, I'm telling my husband I want a divorce. Whatever you're actually doing, right? And come into the present moment. So be here now. Pay attention to the lights, the lighting of the room, the temperature in the room, the way that your clothes feel on your body, where the air is touching your body and where it is not. Pay attention to the specific, simple things that are actually happening in the moment instead of being in your head in the future and the past. Which brings me to the next step. If you are feeling really nervous in life, on camera, on stage, put all your attention on the other person. Put all of your attention on the other person, which also helps with being present. When you put all the attention on the other person, instead of trying to think, how do they like me? What's happening? First of all, that person's going to feel totally seen and heard. And you're going to get the attention off of yourself. You cannot be self-conscious if you're really focused on the other person. The only way you can be self-conscious is if you're focused on yourself. So when you put the attention on the other person, you can immediately relax and feel better, more confident. Number 5, a great way to build confidence is to get into a mastermind group of supportive people who understand and support your vision, your mission, whether that's group therapy, group coaching, whether that's actual mastermind. There's masterminds for all sorts of different businesses, whether that's a class that you take, but not a class. This is often why I also love the Meisner technique and what I teach with acting. So if you are an entertainer, please look into some classes with me. Because something very different about the Meisner technique, as opposed to many other acting classes, is that everybody in the class isn't giving direction. That can deplete your confidence so quick when everybody in the class is directing you, even the person that you're working with in a scene. You're like, oh, now they're the director. Everybody's judging you. No, get into a class like the Meisner technique where there's one director and everybody else in the class is supportive because they're also in the same mission of growing. And that will help grow your confidence. If you're in a mastermind group, that everyone is supporting that vision, not just tearing you down. A lot of these groups that you can get in classes often are run by a lot of egos. So that goes back to trusting your instincts. And you can feel the support. When you're in a supportive group, it's not that everyone's lying to you and feeding your ego. You can get constructive criticism, but you know that it's to help make you better. It's not just egos running the show. Also, number 6, get exercise, move your body. The more strength you feel in the body, the more strength you'll feel in your mind and confident. A lot of times you'll hear people, a lot of leaders and successful people say they take cold plunges. Not only is it good for your body, but see what it does to your mind is it says, I can handle this. So then when you're in a tough situation later in your day, you go, I just sat in an igloo. I sat in the frozen water. I can do this. That's often why people do it. And then there's all these other benefits. So even if that's a cold shower or working out, doing push-ups, whatever it is for you, but remembering that you do have that strength will help you feel confident when a challenging situation comes up. And number 7, the last one, but my favorite, is to get in touch with your childlike essence. remember to have fun and to play, to give yourself time to just be creatively free instead of being so perfect all the time. Make a mess, do a terrible painting. I love an acting exercise that I do with my students a lot of times, which is like, do the big bad acting, do the worst rendition you could possibly do of this scene. Because in that, a lot of times you find gold because you let yourself off the hook. You allow yourself to be free. So if you're practicing for a toast or something like that, allow yourself to just do the worst toast when you're rehearsing. If you're going on a date, allow yourself to just be free. Because when you let yourself off the hook of that biggest fear, often you find the confidence that you were looking for. I hope this helps. I hope this helps you feel some confidence that's always there, just waiting to be uncovered. And I do have a digital course coming out very soon. I've been teasing you with it, but it is happening. And I'm very excited about that. So be on the lookout for that. So you'll be able to buy that and take that class at any time at your leisure, because it's going to be a totally digital, a complete digital course. So that is going to be how to manifest using the Meisner technique, which is the acting technique. So it's a fun way that I'm combining some of this stuff. And again, you can take it from the comforts of your own home or anywhere in the world at any time you like. There's lots of free tools on this channel, so whatever works for you, do that. Do that a lot, and then some more. And I'll see you next time.